Hey guys, this is in direct response to all your comments regarding the lag that you have in the racket head and how you get effortless speed. So I really appreciate the comments, and I just want to make sure that I can assist you in this a little bit more. So that's kind of what this video is about. So basically, to recap what we talked about last time, was that the racket head, that the pros don't bring their racket back, they bring their fist forward, and that allows a lot less pressure on there's no tightness in the wrists, so you get a lot more racket head speed. You can imagine taking a towel, and if you have a wet towel and you're snapping at someone like that, that is just the same idea. You're not going to have a tense arm when you're doing that, right? So that's kind of what the whole idea is racket head speed, and without a lot of effort, okay? So to practice this, a couple ideas is to maybe bring your racket parallel to the white line. You can get a ball machine to do it, or you can just feed it. I suggest feeding it first so you get a feel for it. But you'll notice that I'm standing in front and my racket is pointing to you, even with the white line. And all I'm going to do is drop it in front of me, okay? And I just want to just feel my racket head stay put as I move forward, okay? And when I do that, I'm going to let the racket kind of swing over. So I'm not going to talk about the swing itself yet. I just want you to see that this part is really important, okay? So again, I'm here, I drop, racket forward, and then I'm doing that kind of swing. Do it nice and slow at first, kind of feeling it. So I'm here, going through, and just getting that racket head speed, right? So I'm here, racket forward, or racket back, as I bring the fist forward, right? I'll do one more. So racket back, fist goes forward, and then swing through. You'll notice you get a lot of racket head speed that way, right? But there's problems with that if you don't do it correctly with your grip. It's really hard. So as a teacher, I've been teaching 6 through 12 in high school, middle school for over 10 years. And the one thing that's a little easier in the classroom to teach is, it's not a feel, it's a concept, right? And like I teach chemistry, for example, and the periodic table and all that. But when I teach sports like tennis, it's a feel, right? So it's hard to say loose grip, right? So this is another tip for you. So one thing you can think about is when you're doing this is your pressure should be more on your pinky finger than your pointer finger, right? Your index finger, because you want the lever of the racket to be as long as possible. So some of you are asking about the science behind this. Well, here it is. The physics behind a longer lever, right? Like a long crowbar, you can pry something open a lot easier than a short crowbar. So a lever is more power. So I want to grip the racket with my pinky rather than I'm going to have more pressure here than my index finger, because if I do this, now my lever is a lot smaller to pivot off of, a lot shorter than if I'm here and I can pivot off of here more. So when you're doing this, try to put more pressure on your pinky rather than your index, okay? So I'm here, I'm like this, right? And I'm putting more pressure here so I can let the racket kind of swing over and swing on this lever to get more power, okay? Another way to feel that kind of that length and that lever is to just grab 2 fingers and a thumb, and just so you can't really grip tight, you have no choice but to let the racket go, right? So the idea is just doing this. You don't even have to do the racket back thing, but that's the next step. But you could just take it, just swing it a couple, and you'll realize that the racket just needs to be relaxed when you do this, right? So again, you could go here, 2 fingers and a thumb again, and I'm here, and I'm just bringing it forward, and I'm just swinging through as much as I can, right? Trying to feel that racket head speed going through. And that kind of allows you to understand that the pressure you're using is in this kind of motion. You're trying to guide the racket in this motion, but not this motion. So I'm pretty loose. I'm pretty loose with the grip, but I'm just trying to concentrate on keeping my racket head in the same direction, the same angle every time. So a lot of players will not be very successful trying this. Is a couple things. Tight grip. Tight grip won't allow that to happen, but the other thing is not having a good appreciation for the angle of your racket. So I want to make sure that I'm here every time when I'm making contact with that ball. So I want to make sure that I have a slight pressure with this, but as I'm going forward, I'm cognitive of the angle of my racket as I'm coming up over that ball, okay? So try these out again, loose grip, 2 fingers and a thumb. Think about the lever of the racket, and you're just kind of relaxing and understanding where that racket is going to make sure that you're getting that racket head speed and being able to feel a lot less pressure on the wrists, okay? Last thing is, this is all about injury prevention too. So this is a good thing no matter what level you're at, because we're always trying to limit the amount of pressure on your wrists. So if you're tightening your racket and you're trying to have a motion, that's your tightness restricts that motion, and therefore you can get hurt. So you want to have a relaxed grip so you can have that motion come naturally over and then allow you not to get injured. And that's the whole point. So we call tennis, a sport for the rest of your life, only if you have the right technique. So hopefully that will help. Good luck.